We need to be active. This is a lightning bolt. This is you. This is you and the impacts you can have if you are an active participant in life. So this is the clouds. And mainly most of the time, us as people, we stay in this kind of ether. Think of it as clouds. Okay? And when do clouds turn into potential? When there's a storm, electricity comes from it, maybe even rain. Right? But because we are participants and we should be active, we need to be more like the lightning bolt than the little rain that comes from the clouds. It's easy to get even just staying in this cloud space because it's kind of nice, kind of cozy, like cotton candy. We can stay up here, it feels like nice and fluffy, even if it is a little bit turbulent, because obviously you can get turbulent. Think about being on a plane and going through the clouds, right? There's sometimes some resistance or there's bumps, turbulence. But sometimes this can feel comforting for us. We just like rock a little bit, but we know we're safe in our little bubble, which is usually the plane. But I'm just putting this as a parallel to life, okay? So this can feel really good. And sometimes maybe we will sprinkle down every now and again. But usually we'll always come back to our safety net, which is up here in the clouds. This message is this is for people that actually want to be in life, be active, an active participant. This kind of links to the video about life being a video game, because when you're playing a game, you have to do something. You can't just like go on the game and do nothing, because if you do that, what will happen? I'll let you answer that one. The answer is nothing. And this is how most of us live our lives, right? We're not really that active. We maybe do like the things that life expects of us, get a job, go to work. Maybe we'll go to the gym, add on to that. But these can be okay in their own. But if there's something that you want to do, something you want to achieve, you have to act as this lightning bolt. And often, because lightning doesn't happen all the time. But when you feel that strike of inspiration, the spark, the electric feeling of something that you want to do, it's important to move with it and act like you are this lightning bolt. You have so much potential in terms of action, energy, efficiency, things like working with you to be able to achieve whatever it is that you want. But the only way to do this is to get your head out of the clouds. Get your head out of the clouds. And it's okay to be here in the main if you want to be. But things will come to you at points, right? Ideas, thoughts. Hey, wouldn't it be nice if I did this? But most of us just ignore it. We ignore it because this feels safe, first of all, and we get caught up in the things, they're like life, mundane things. Let's say, but if you want to live a life full of wonder or stretching your capacity, doing things that are, I don't want to say out of this world, but things that are like out of your imagination. It takes knowing that you can access this and move with it and actually doing it. You have to do the thing, right? Because if you can stay in here, yeah, sure. But once you have the thing that you want to do, you have to connect to it. And connecting to it in the clouds, it builds the storm, but in a good way. Because after the storm, what comes? Usually, if there's rain and there's clouds, a rainbow will come, right? Or the clouds will clear. After a full storm, the clouds will clear. And this is important because if we always live in this cloudy, like liminal space that's not really useful to us and what we want to achieve and attain, then we can just not understand that actually our action in doing something will clear the clouds and actually make it easier for us to move with what we want to do on a bigger scale. Because this is very small thinking, right? Just like floating in the clouds, but there's something that you want to do. And there is so much behind you. All of this kind of storm can also be brewing to help you. But if we ignore it and if we don't action on what comes to our mind, what information we're given that's going to help us. Everyone's individual, right? Not everyone has the same path, even though it might feel like it, because this is what's kind of drilled into us, that everyone's expected to do the same thing, get a good job, go to school, whatever. But deep down, if we're able to be in a space of not being so inundated with this is kind of like what we spoke about before with people's problems, the news, whatever it is that's holding us back from actually being truly us, which can feel safe, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's very true. But if we focus on us, the rainbow will come, but then also the clouds will clear. And this is beautiful, right? Because there are things for us. There are things for us to do in this life, and not everyone is the same. And it's important for you to connect with what it is that you want to do. Maybe there's nothing right now, and that's okay. Not every second is going to be a moment of action, a moment of, hey, no, I know I want to do this. But if you don't take the time to understand that you want to do something and spend the time connecting with what that could be, because there could be many things, right? And it's not about trying one thing and it fails and then we just go back to floating in the clouds forever. This is where people get stuck, because they're like, oh, I failed, maybe this isn't for me, and they go back to this. This is not the point of life. Maybe we can sit here for a little bit, right? Whatever. But to stay here, no. You are this potential. Think about how powerful a lightning bolt is. Okay, think about how powerful it is. This is you. But you'll never understand your potential if you don't play the game. There's so many things to experience in life. There may be things that you think are holding you back, but understand, if you stay creative and understand that this energy is working with you, there is so much you can achieve. Now, there's so many things actually waiting for you to explore, expand with, and to take the understanding that you can roll with it. And as I said, not everything's going to work out, but it's just the fact that you can prove to yourself that you can take the steps to get to this point where it builds up, right? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and momentum is crazy. Like a storm building. A storm building. There may be some thunder. Boom, boom, right? This is okay. It may feel like, yeah, there's turbulence, but because this is building, you're pulling on a thread. The only outcome is going to be that this massive action potential is working with you and something's going to come of it, right? And some of these things might just not even get that big. They may get a little bit big, some momentum, and then fall back. But you've got the knowledge now. So this grows. The idea grows. The original idea may transform and transmute, right? And there may be many streams that get big and big and big. And some of them might not even get to the top in terms of like the energy that you can move. But don't take this as failure and like go back to the space because you're like, oh, no, I'm scared because this didn't happen. Yeah, this didn't happen, but everything is a learning experience, and this builds and builds and builds. This is the whole thing of life. The thing that I got today, which might be helpful with this kind of analogy too, is that like a jigsaw puzzle, right? Life can be like a jigsaw puzzle. These are like the little puzzle pieces, and they all kind of like fit together. And they build on one another. Even if one feels like a failure, maybe it's just in the wrong place, but you know that you have it, so you can use it as like a building block in the game at some point. You'll be able to use it at some point. Everything is learning. And this is how we have to understand things a little bit better, because instead of going back to the space or back to the space where you're not playing, where you're not actioning on anything, this is so boring. Sorry, but it is. And you can get really frustrated with yourself, with life. It's like, woe is me. We don't want this. No. We don't want to live in this space because there is just so much for us. And if we get caught up in this, we will never be able to move with something and let it gain that potential. You're able to do this with anything. Don't want you to feel like it's limiting you, okay? It's just that not everything has to be so heavy in terms of if it doesn't work out. Because so many things are not going to work out, right? That's just life. It's life. understand if there is something you want to do, just go with it. Like, the worst can happen, worst is that you can fail. And what? There's so many other avenues. And as we said, it's like building blocks. The jigsaw can continue, the pieces will unfold, and you can utilize this piece. Say maybe you did a course on direct marketing, maybe you're doing something in the spiritual space or field, but you will use this at some point. Or like a useless degree, you will use how you analyzed data in that degree to be able to see maybe like patterns, or you can research things in a certain way that you would not have been able to do had you not done this degree. So nothing is lost. So don't think like that, because this can bring you into the inactive participant where you think that nothing's happening for you, but there's so much energy behind everything you want to do. It's up to you to activate what you are doing in this life.